Well, hey guys, we're in Columbus, Mississippi today in Friendship Cemetery. And I figured since I was here, I could go pay my respects to Joshua Meador. Now, the kids and I did a video on Joshua, years ago, where we talked about his life history and his work, but we didn't come out here because this cemetery is so big. It's beautiful, but it's huge, and we couldn't find him. Well, I've since gotten a map of the cemetery, and well, here we are again. I'm going to give you the quick version of Joshua's story and tell you just why I think he's the perfect example of what I wanted to teach my kids with this YouTube channel. And if you're still with me after all that, you're bound to want to bump that like button and might even be wondering who in the world Joshua Meador is. Well, the reason we're here is that Joshua was an animator, an effects animator, a special effects artist, and the animation director for Disney Studios for 30 years. But first, he was born in Greenwood, Mississippi on March the 12th, 1911. His father, whose grave you'll see today too, moved to Columbus when Joshua was around 7 because Dad was coming to work with the railroad. Joshua eventually attended the Chicago Art Institute, where a guy named Herbert Ryman convinced him to submit an art portfolio to Walt Disney. Disney hired him in 1936. While I think Joshua personally got immense pleasure out of being a landscape artist, his work with Disney has touched most everybody's life that might happen upon this video. He was a creator and an innovator and was simply the best there was at what he did during his lifetime. Joshua started his work at Disney in the special effects department, working on a Disney film called The Old Mill and another little old Disney film that you might have heard of, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Joshua created The Bubbly Mud and Fantasia, and he animated several other shorts and features in the 40s and 50s. That means he gave us these Disney characters and what we see when we think of characters such as Dumbo, Bambi, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Mary Poppins. Like I mentioned earlier, Joshua was a landscape painter, painting over 2,000 canvases. Of course, most of these were presented in art galleries and art shows where he lived. I'm not sure if it still does, but one of his paintings used to hang in the public library here in Columbus. It was a gift from his wife. In August of 1965, Joshua Meador suffered a heart attack at his home in Casper, California. He was buried here in Columbus, Mississippi, close to his mom and dad. And like I try to point out to my kids, he used his skills and abilities to literally change our world and make it a much more joyous and enjoyable place. Well, I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about Mississippi's Joshua Meador today. Thank you.